So you live in New York City and you need a dog trainer. You've definitely come to the right place. We're going to walk you through exactly how to find the right pro for you and your dog.
Yeah, if you're a dog owner here, you know exactly what this is about. I mean, living with a dog in New York is something else. We're talking crowded sidewalks, tiny elevators, nonstop noise. It asks a ton from our dogs, right?
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you find the right person to help you and your dog not just survive, but actually thrive here? Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
Okay, let's get into it. Section 1 is all about defining your goals. Before you even start Googling, you've got to know what you and your dog actually need.
For a lot of us, it starts with the basics. Basic obedience. These are the absolute must-haves for a city dog. We're talking about a solid sit-stay when you're at a crazy intersection, or learning how to walk on a leash without pulling your arm off. That's a big one.
Now, if you've got a puppy, that's a whole different ballgame. Puppy training is all about getting them started on the right paw. It's about socialization, getting them used to sirens, strollers, all the city chaos. And of course, the big ones, potty training in an apartment and making their crate a happy place.
Then there are the more complex issues. This is where behavior modification comes in. We're talking about things like reactivity, when your dog loses it seeing another dog on a tight sidewalk. Or maybe they're terrified of loud noises or have separation anxiety, which, in an apartment building with neighbors, that can be really tough.
You also have a bunch of different ways to get this training done. In-home is great because you're working right where the problems happen. Group classes, perfect for practicing around other dogs. Private lessons give you that one-on-one focus. And if you're super busy, there's even day training or board and train programs for more intensive help.
Okay, so you've figured out what you need. The next step is finding someone who's actually qualified to help. So let's talk about what to look for.
This is really, really important. You want to start by looking for trainers who use positive reinforcement methods. It's all about rewarding good behavior. And in a city with a million distractions on every corner, this approach it's what works to keep your dog engaged and learning.
Okay, you're going to see a lot of letters after trainers' names. Don't let the alphabet soup scare you. Things like CPD-TK, KPA-CTP, or CTC, they're a good sign. They mean the trainer has put in the work to get certified and stays up to date on modern, science-backed training. It shows a real level of professionalism.
Now, if you're dealing with one of those tougher behavioral challenges, like serious fear or reactivity, you might need to look for a specialist. Credentials like IABC-DBC or CBCC-KA mean you're talking to a certified behavior consultant. These folks go deeper than just basic commands. They're trained to understand the why behind the behavior.
All right, let's talk money. Because let's be real, cost is a huge factor for everyone. Here's a look at what you can expect to pay for training in NYC.
So, what does it actually cost? Well, it really depends. The price can change a lot based on the trainer's experience, what kind of training you're doing, and which borough you're in.
So as you can see here, a single private lesson in Manhattan might set you back anywhere from $175 to $300. You'll usually find slightly lower prices in the other boroughs. Buying a package of lessons is almost always a better deal, and for just general skills, group classes are definitely the most affordable way to go.
Just a quick note on this, these are just averages, right? So if a trainer has to travel to you, or if you need a weekend spot, or you're dealing with a really complex issue, the price will probably be on the higher end of that range. Just something to keep in mind.
Okay, this next part is maybe the most important. You've found a few trainers who like the look of. Now what? You've got to interview them. And we've put together a little checklist to make that conversation easier.
Think of this as your game plan. First, you want to double-check their training philosophy. Then ask about those credentials we talked about. But also, get specific. Ask them how they'd handle New York things, like getting your dog comfortable in an elevator. And a big one, ask them how you'll both know you're making real progress out on the actual streets.
And hey, before we wrap up, just a super quick refresher on some key city rules. It's always good to have these top of mind. Okay, the big ones. Leashes have to be 6 feet or shorter. If you're hopping on the subway or a bus, your dog needs to be in a carrier. Always pick up after your dog. That's the law. And make sure their city license and rabies vaccine are up to date. Any good trainer is going to know and reinforce these rules too.
This really sums it all up perfectly. The key to success isn't just hiring a trainer. It's about having realistic goals, using kind, effective methods, and this is the big one, practicing consistently. right in your own neighborhood, on your own streets.
And that's really what it's all about. A well-trained dog makes everything about living here better. From walking through your lobby to hanging out at the park, it just makes the whole experience more positive for everyone.
I mean, isn't that the dream? To enjoy calmer walks, have polite greetings with your neighbors, maybe even relax at an outdoor cafe with your best friend by your side? That's what this is all about. We hope this helps you find the perfect training partner to make that happen.